We're here at Swipe Expo 2026 in beautiful Tucson, Arizona. We are now being joined by our good friend Ron Lemaire, president of CPMA. Ron,
Thanks for having me.
we had a discussion yesterday. A lot of what we talked about, I felt would be really good information, or at least good things to think about for our viewers and our listeners. Uh, Obviously, there's a collaborative approach from an association standpoint. We all see each other at different events.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that a lot of folks associate produce from Mexico or from Southern Arizona or from South Texas, for example, with Canada, but maybe you can share some of the information you shared with me yesterday. It was pretty eye opening in the sense that it's not something I think about very often.
Yeah, you know what? The Arizona market, the Nogales market, and the Mexican connection flowing through Nogales, it's fundamental to the trade with Canada. So when you look at Mexico, you look at Canada, there's two key hubs that flow through to make Canada successful with our Mexican partnerships. And that is Nogales and it is McAllen. Those are the two primary hubs. And we value Nogales for making sure we can connect our buyers with the right companies, partners, with the right quality product, with the right price product to meet the consumer demand in Canada. And we don't grow everything in Canada.
Sure.
It snows. So we rely on Mexico to meet our demands. And the consumer is very unique in Canada. It's not a melting pot, it's a cultural mosaic.
Mm.
So we have a very diversified culture and cultural environment where they're looking for a wide range of produce, veg, fruit, and so on.
And they want it year round, right?
And they want it year round.
That's great information. Very interesting. Obviously, a good reason why you're here.
I love this show. And
You love the show.
you know why? Size of show. It has the right size, the right number of days, so you can put it into a busy schedule. The show gives you direct access to the Nogales shippers and the Mexican shippers that you should be doing business with. And it gives you the time to do it in a social plus a business environment. The education sessions are strong and it gives you an opportunity to get in, get out. And that's what these footprint of shows should do, right? It's the right mechanism to have speed business in a sense, or a boutique style business that everybody wins at.
It's very efficient as
Yeah.
well. I love it. I mean, there are larger shows, obviously. I think we all love them, but to say that they're very hard to manage,
Yeah.
very hard to be effective. I think the regional shows are a huge compliment to the overall marketing efforts of any company, right, or any organization. So you mentioned education. You were on a panel this morning. Is it safe to say that what keeps you up at night or what's taking up a significant amount of bandwidth is the uncertainty of tariffs and perhaps anything USMCA related?
The renewal of USMCA has taken up almost 100% of my time. And, CPMA is heavily focused. We're engaged across Canada, Mexico, the US, working with our US partners, of course, being engaged with a trinational group that's not only agriculture and produce, but also automotive, steel, aluminum. Because what we found is we need a strong produce voice in trying to keep USMCA together as a trinational deal. But at the same time, we have to be a broader voice. So the coalition that we are a part of with that broader voice is working hard with Congress, with key stakeholders to make sure the administration knows, yes, we can find improvements, but don't break the trinational framework. Bilateral models aren't going to work in this case. We can develop bilateral trade, but under the context of a trilateral relationship. And Canada's already doing it. Our prime minister visited the president in Mexico in September. And shortly thereafter, the Minister of Agriculture and the Secretary of Agriculture brought a group of us together in Mexico City to talk about strategies of how we can work closer with Mexico. We do it regularly with the US, it's almost seamless, but this is a brand new strategy with the Mexican market. And it's not excluding the US, but it's looking at how do we improve? How do we continue a trading environment and recognize the growth moving forward?
What would you say the next toll gate, for example, is the big next step?
So the
Is
big
that something you can share with us?
Well, no, definitely. So we need to push towards July 1st, 2026, and the actual deadline for renewal.
Okay.
And we need to make sure at the state level in the US that Congress, senators, state level legislators all know from our sector we cannot break USMCA. We can tweak it. We can look at, improvements, but we need a renewal And we need a strategy that looks at making sure we have predictability in our business. Without that predictability, we're going to see small companies fall to the wayside. They cannot compete. And that's what is our bread and butter. And our industry is made up of many small groups. And, the challenge we're starting to see is that consolidation where we see the small players really disappearing. And when you see that small player disappear, everybody loses in the diversity of product offering coming to market and the competitiveness in the market.
Yeah. One feeds the other.
Yep.
Well, we're very thankful for your time and your insight. Clearly, you've given us some good rationale as to why it's important for folks to be here at Swipe Expo. You have a big show coming up as well. We'd love for you to plug it.
Yeah, definitely. End of it last week of April. I invite everyone to join us in Toronto, and trade show sold out, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't come, walk the show floor, be engaged with the Canadian buyers, as well as some of the US buyers that come up and other international buyers that join us in the Canadian marketplace. So the world's going to be in Canada. Hope you're going to join us there.
Big anniversary last year, right?
Huge.
Okay, so this year it's what year?
101 years.
101 years.
101.
Very impressive. So
Yeah. I don't look at a bit over 30.
You really don't. So if in 101 years you haven't been there, make it to CPMA this year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron.